What's up, losers? Today I'm back with some more r/fatlogic shenanigans. Taking a look at a couple of funny posts and sharing my responses to them. This is episode 88 in the fatlogic series. And I'm ready to sink my teeth into some more tasty fat acceptance dramatics. So without further ado, let's get into it.
All weight loss companies are bad and should be burned to the ground. But so far, one of the worst ones is a freaking account that followed me on IG. That had, "Look good naked," as its name, or the slogan, I can't remember. But this is so freaking vile. Frick you, if you call your weight loss sheet anything along the lines of wellness, or better health, or something, but to make it so clearly just about the looks, to imply so openly that fat people are disgusting to you to look at, to take the experience of an already hugely stigmatized and immensely vulnerable human experience, being naked in front of other people, and making fun of it, making it your brand, is freaking next level shit. And yeah, in different cultures, being naked in front of other people is more normalized than in others. But body image issues and preying on people's insecurities is global billion-dollar industry. This is vile, especially for people on marginalized bodies, and even people in conventionally attractive bodies, who still have body image issues. Frickin' burn this to the ground. If you still hate fat people so much that you make companies with such names, or bots who pose as companies with such names, I honestly wish you would be force-fed sand until you chucked to death. Frick.
Whoa, this post is so angry. Like, what's with all the expletives and the violent fantasizing? It seems a little excessive, doesn't it? I get that fat activists don't like dieting or thinness as a beauty standard. And I can see how getting sent some obnoxious spam on Instagram would be aggravating. But surely it's not such a big deal that it warrants an unhinged rant like this. I mean, you can just block the account and get on with your day. Can't you? Easy peasy. There's certainly no need for the burn it all down, or force feed them sand until they suffocate talk. As far as the post's actual substance goes, I have kind of mixed feelings. On the one hand, I don't personally find the idea of looking good naked as compelling a reason for going on a diet as, say, health and fitness, and I can also see how such messaging might prey on people's insecurities and make them feel that they need to lose weight, even if they are already at a healthy size, which is great for the company itself and its financial bottom line, but not necessarily good for the people to whom it is selling its service. At the same time, for some people, losing weight to look better without clothes on could be just the motivation that they need to pursue healthy weight loss. That will also benefit them in a bunch of other ways. And I don't think it's necessarily wrong for diet companies to cater to this demographic in their marketing. Even if approaching random fat people on Instagram to spread this marketing is slimy and invasive. On the whole, this company doesn't sound like one that I would recommend. And its marketing strategy is pretty suspect. But I wouldn't say that it shouldn't have the right to exist. Or anything like that, and I definitely think that wishing death and destruction upon it is an overreaction. Like seriously, chill out, it's really not that big a deal. You're going to be okay.
I'm starting to think that fat phobes believe every fat person has a daily 3 pizza quota that we eat to stay fat. Like, I really wonder what the average fat phobe imagines fat people eat. They probably think we eat 5 meals a day, tons of desserts, and the unhealthiest food possible. How much food I eat in a day would probably shock a fat phobe. #worthy thoughts. #fatphobia.
Well, I don't know exactly what any given fat person eats in a day. Obviously. But I have seen a fair few. What I eat in a day as a fat person. TikToks. That caused me to raise an eyebrow. They didn't necessarily include 3 pizzas a day. But they did include a lot of really calorie-heavy foods, with large portion sizes, which all added up to a lot more than I can imagine myself eating. even on my most indulgent days. So, I do have at least some idea that the amount of food that certain fat people regard as normal is at odds with what I, as a thin person, would consider an appropriate level of consumption. But setting that aside, the problem with this post is that it seems to imply that if a fat person is not eating 5 meals a day and tons of desserts, their fatness must not have anything to do with their calorie intake. Which is just not the case. There are all sorts of things that people eat and drink that bring their calorie count up drastically, but often go unnoticed, due to there not being full meals in their own right. Think stuff like Starbucks drinks, excess butter or oil that people might add to their meals, sauces, snacks, alcoholic drinks, and full sugar sodas, even if you are only consuming 3 appropriately sized meals a day. If you are having a lot of these extras on top of them, it is not at all surprising that you might become fat. But this is not some unexplained mystery, or an inescapable quirk of genetics. It is just another aspect of diet that one has to account for. Instead of lamenting how thin people don't understand them, fat people like this should take a critical look at what they really eat in a day, including the stuff that they prefer to write off. Because once you start taking into account just how many calories you could save by skipping that jumbo caramel frappa lappuccino, I have a feeling that losing weight might just become a little easier. And you won't even have to skip meals. How good's that?
Rant number 87. Dieting doesn't work, and it is still easier. Easier than tearing open my heart and soul, and looking closely at what lies within. Easier than accepting my imperfections, and learning to be a person I feel proud of. All you assholes that think I should just diet, and STFU. I'm the one doing the hard work. I'm the one bettering myself. What are you doing? Spreading hate on IG. So, your choice. Do you want to be at peace? Or do you really just want to be frickable?
Well, I think I'd like to be both. And I don't see why that wouldn't be an option. If anything, knowing that you're hot should put you even more at peace. Right, because who doesn't want to be hot, haha. No, but seriously, this post is pretty wild. Like, imagine suggesting that you, by refusing to diet, are actually working harder than the people going on diets and losing weight, because you're accepting your imperfections, and they're all just trying to look nice, or something. Maybe I'm just a cynic, but I can't see this as anything more than a heap of self-indulgent nonsense. No matter how dramatically you describe the process of tearing open your heart and soul, you're ultimately still, I presume, just sitting around eating, while your peers are getting up off their asses, going to the gym, getting the diet in order, and resisting the temptation to subside into old habits. Whichever way you slice it, you're not the one working hard. They are, and frankly, this attempt to reframe yourself as some kind of brave warrior, fighting back against toxic beauty standards, is unbelievably narcissistic. Like newsflash, life is not just about learning to appreciate yourself the way you are. A certain degree of self-acceptance is important, sure, but at the end of the day, we all have things that we could do better, and striving to overcome our shortcomings and become better people for it is a big part of what gives life its meaning. None of us are perfect. We are all works in progress. And that's okay, but an awareness of our present limitations should never be used to justify remaining stagnant in our lives, because if we adopt that kind of mindset, we will never truly grow. Learning to accept yourself as you are, when your weight is putting your health at risk, is not positive growth, it's self-defeating fatalism, and I don't see how anyone can convince themselves otherwise. Well, that's all I've got for you today. I hope you enjoyed the posts, and that you got something out of my commentary. What do you think? Should weight loss companies be burned to the ground. Does every fat person have a daily 3 pizza quota? Would you rather be at peace or frickable? Let me know in the comments. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, or I'll force feed you sand until you choke to death. Just kidding, haha. Anyway, catch you later.